Hey, what is going on, you guys? John Shea here from the No Shame Income blog. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I took a failed project with a partner and essentially turned this into a lasting business model that I've been working on for the past 4 years. So if you guys are brand new here in the channel, be sure to throw me a thumbs up on the video, as well as be sure to subscribe to my channel. I do new videos each and every week. And if you decide to go back and actually leave me a comment, I will go back and reply to your comment. So before we dive into today's video, I'm going to be jumping over to my desktop here in a moment. I wanted to give a little bit of a kind of pretense about what really occurred here with a particular partner and business model that I decided to go after. So something that I used to do many years ago is I was buying a lot of products online. I was basically checking out what different things people were doing, and I came across a guy that was actually selling a product all about arbitrage. And this was something that really interested me. You know, the idea was you go out and you sell something for, say, $500, but then on the other side of things, you could go and find someone to fulfill that work for, say, $100 or $200. So you would pretty much pocket the remaining money. So in this example, let's say I would pocket $300. And you could do this over and over again and make a lot of money doing it. So a couple guys that I was following online, one of the guys interviewed this gentleman. His name was Vinny. And he went and actually started having success with Vinny's arbitrage model. And I said, you know, this looks awesome. I decided to pick up the product. And what ended up happening was I really loved, you know, the entire product and everything it stood for. But what it really came down to was the delivery of the product and the way that it was organized was really awful. In fact, it was so bad, it was basically like these zip files just filled with text documents, and stuff was all over the place. It was hard to follow along. There wasn't enough video instruction, but again, for what it was, there was kind of enough there to know what to do, but it just really wasn't presented in a great way. So I went to Vinny and I said, you know, why don't we create a membership site, and I will go and help you record a bunch of videos, and we're gonna kind of go through and we're gonna make your entire your product version 2.0. And he agreed, and I decided to start working on this. I spent a ton of time on it, and what ended up happening was we put it out there, we basically relaunched the product, and crickets. Nobody bought the product. So I was like, you know, I spent all this time, I spent months reworking the entire thing, creating this really nice membership site, putting a lot of time and energy into it, and nothing had really happened. So I'm actually going to jump over to my desktop and I'm going to show you what I decided to do with this product and how I actually started making money from it, and how I even still make money from this same product even now 4 years later today without doing any work at all. So let's dive in and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I ended up doing. Alright guys, so we're over on my desktop, and again I wanted to show you kind of a little bit of some history here, and something that really led to some of my own success teaching online, and also really having the opportunity to start exploring the idea of partnerships. So one of the things that I used to do back in the day was I was following this guy by the name of Mike from Maine. We're actually good friends. I still do follow him today. And ultimately what he ended up doing was he was interviewing product creators, and I would always kind of be watching some of the products that were coming out and some of the interviews. And Mike did an interview with this guy by the name of Vinny Bach, and he ended up actually following the guy's methods and making $200. And I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And here is actually Mike's interview. I was able to actually pull it up. This is over almost 5 years old now, if not longer. It was August 29th of 2013. And you can see here I even went in and was commenting saying that, you know, I checked out the method from Vinny, and I was really excited, right? So I ended up buying this product because Mike had some success with it, and of course I was interested. It related to some of the things I was doing online myself, and more or less, like I said, the arbitrage, right? So what I ended up doing was buying the product, but Vinny had delivered it in such a way where you basically had like all these zip files everywhere. There were text documents, you had pictures. It was just not really delivered in a great way. And where most other people were doing membership sites or doing something that was much more professional, I reached out to Vinny and I said, you know, I really like what you're doing. I love this method. I love the idea of it. I think this is a great product. Why don't we revamp the entire product and turn it into something better? So that's exactly what we ended up doing. And we actually decided to come up with, the product name was Simple Novice Profits. And we ended up basically calling it Simple Novice Profits 2.0. And I spent probably several months, at least like 2 months, doing phone calls with Vinny and basically revamping an entire membership site, re-recording videos, making the whole product just much better. And we ended up relaunching it on a platform called the Warrior Forum, which is an internet marketing forum. If you've never been there, it's basically got all kinds of people discussing pretty much anything you could ever want in terms of internet marketing. And it ended up kind of being a dud. Like, we didn't really get many sales from it, and it was honestly just really disappointing. So I said, we spent all this time on this product. We put all these new videos in here. It's a really great product. What else can we do with this? And I had actually been exploring a platform called Udemy at the time. This was, again, around 2013, 2014. And I said, why don't we take this course and put it up on Udemy as a joint course. Udemy had the capability where you could actually teach a course with another instructor. If you both had instructor accounts, you could actually team up, put the course up on this platform, and anytime it made sales, you would both make money from it. So I wanted to show you guys what I ended up doing with this and how it actually kind of led me into teaching on Udemy and really the potential of what this ended up doing for me. So I actually wanted to pull up, this is really my very first record of making some money with Udemy, and really that entire first year. Again, you saw here from the comments, I was kind of exploring this product in about August of 2013. I ended up over that period of time, towards the end of the year, recreating Simple Novice Profits 2.0, launching it, not really having any success. And throughout all that, I started teaching on Udemy, and it was probably, I want to say, early 2014, we ended up actually putting out the version 2.0. And I said to Vinny, I'm starting to have some success on Udemy. I had published a course about podcasting because that's something I was doing fairly actively. And I said, why don't we take that course and put it up on Udemy together? So I was checking some of my months here, and I know, for example, if I look at September, one of the first months I put it up, I was still getting a good amount of sales this particular month from my podcast course, but this month I made $8 from just publishing it on Udemy. Now, that doesn't sound all that exciting initially here, but the biggest thing was that a lot of these sales were very small. Like you could see here, someone was paying $10 and Udemy would take a cut, an affiliate referred the program, and I ended up making $1.25 after the split with Vinny. So basically we were splitting everything 50-50. So this actually continued throughout the years, and I started looking at this platform. Let me jump back here. And I said to myself, this is something that has some potential, and I'm actually let me go sort of backwards here. So starting from January, you could see each month I was making a little bit of money, no more than like $70 a month. And then as we went into 2014, I said, I had this other idea for myself as a course, and I ended up publishing that right around the time of Black Friday, which is when Udemy does their biggest promotions. And I ended up making over $800 in a single month, and whereas before every other month I had only made about 50 to anywhere from 30 to $70, and all of a sudden, bam, I made $800, and I was like, wow, there's something here, right? Like, I can do this and I can make a lot more money. So the reason I wanted to bring this up to you guys was because I actually took the time to start putting more and more courses on this platform, and just putting a little bit of energy into it. You can see the income started adding up. I didn't consistently continue making the 800, but over the years, throughout 2015, I started averaging around $200 to upwards of $500 every single month. And then this continued, and I even had a month where I made almost $2,000. And this is more or less continued up through 2018. And what I really did with this platform was I said, I'm going to keep creating courses. I'm going to keep focusing on this particular avenue of a means to making more money online, bringing in extra side income, and using that to pay my bills, and ultimately, getting myself into a position where I could have more freedom. So the reason I wanted to bring all this up was because, had I not, maybe done this whole project where it kind of failed with Vinny and had that whole experience where it just didn't work, it ended up being something where ultimately I ended up putting this course on here, and again, it didn't make me insane amounts of money, but I ended up splitting this with Vinny, and it was allowing me to start building a brand, doing something that kind of led me to a point where I could see, hey, there's real potential in these online courses. So the one I did with Vinny ended up making me about $526, 100% passively. I didn't really do any marketing for it. And again, Vinny also earned another $500 from his share of the portion. And I continued making more courses, some of which ended up being extremely popular, such as my Amazon course, which has now earned me close to $10,000 on this platform. And I was able to use some of these courses through other marketplaces, eventually selling them on my own websites, and just doing a lot more to start bringing in an extra income. So again, if you guys are interested in this model, if this is something that intrigues you, I'm actually going to leave an 80% off discount coupon to check out my online course mastery program. So this is more or less a program where I've gone through and I teach everything that I know to basically show you how I've had all this success on Udemy and other marketplaces and more or less selling online courses. To date, I've done well over $100,000 selling online courses, and this has been by far my favorite way to make an extra, income online. And this really all started with what I like to consider kind of a failure, right? I had made this podcasting course, which as of now, they've actually taken off the platform because it doesn't follow some of their rules. But that was where I ended up starting before they added some complexity in their review system, I guess you could say. But that course kind of started it, but at the time I wasn't taking it that seriously. And I really only started taking it seriously once I saw what was happening with this Fiverr course I did with Vinny. And it just ended up kind of taking off from there. So again, I'll leave a link below in the description. And again, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave me a comment and subscribe and thumbs up on the video. I definitely appreciate it. And I will be releasing new videos here later this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.